Hey, this is River Dave. I'm standing here with a good friend of mine, Tim, from Performance Boat Candy, or performanceboatcandy.com. You might notice today I'm not wearing a River Dave's Play shirt, I'm wearing a Robinson Racing shirt. My friend Jeremy was nice enough to lend me his Hallet. He's got a little bit of oxidation, and Tim has a product line that's going to solve that. And right now we're going to tell you about his products and what some of the pros and cons of them are. Well, actually, there's not too many cons I can think of, but some of the pros of them. And we're going to give you a little step-by-step on what they do, and later on a little step-by-step on how to use them. Tim, why don't you tell us what you brought here?
So what we have is our line of oxidation removal products. And it starts out with our Crystal Cut Extreme compound, which will remove anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 grit sanding marks. We've also got our Crystal Cut compound, which will remove 1,500 to 2,000 grit sanding marks. And our Crystal Cut Polish, which will remove 2,500 on up sanding grit marks, and then our wax to finish off. So what we've done is we've designed these products to be extremely user-friendly, and depending on the level of oxidation of your boat, we have a system in place that will take care of the level of oxidation that you have. So what we do is we categorize the three levels of oxidation as either being heavy, moderate, or light oxidation.
What would you consider, we did a little section on the back, what would you consider this boat to be?
This boat, in certain sections, you have moderate oxidation. In other sections, you have a little bit of lighter oxidation. So what we would use typically, we'd start out with the Crystal Cut compound, which will remove moderate oxidation. You match that product up with the different density of pad, right? So here we have our heavy pad, which is our orange pad. We've got our yellow pad, which is our moderate, and then we've got our polishing pad here, which is white. And then at the end, when you go to do your waxing, you use a black pad for that.
Now, something kind of cool that I don't think you highlighted enough in the video. Stacy used to have a 76 Spectra, and I personally wet sanded and buffed that boat, and it was hell. And the buffing of it was not so bad, but the wet sanding was horrible because you sit there and you do this, and there's only one way to do it by hand. There's no, to my knowledge anyway, mechanical way of doing that and making it cool. When you get into their heavy cuts, that actually replaces the 1,000 to 1,500 grit sandpaper. So you're literally automating the whole process, and it takes a lot of the actual labor out of the equation. Tim also did something that's kind of cool. And, most of the other companies that offer things like this, they don't offer the actual pads and tell you how to use the pad with their product and which actual buffer to use. And Tim put together a complete system here, so it is almost idiot-proof. If you do exactly what he says in this video and the next video, and what it says on the bottle, it's almost impossible to burn the gel coat and screw up your boat, which is a major plus. So tell us about your two different tools that you got here.
So right here we have rotary or high-speed polisher. This thing will start out at about 600 RPM and go all the way up to about 3,400 RPM. The nice thing about this is that it'll take care of your heavy oxidation, your moderate oxidation with relative ease. It's very little work. With this is more of a professional grade tool, so you have to have a little bit of work time to get used to it and everything like that. One of the downsides about this product or this tool rather, is that it's a little bit hard to maneuver at first if you're first starting out. But if you follow the instructions and things like that, it becomes very easy. The next type of polisher that we're looking at here is a dual action or random orbit polisher. This polisher not only rotates in a circular manner, but it also oscillates. You get less cutting action with this, but the benefit of this is that it's very easy to use, it's maneuverable, and it really...
tighter spots because it's smaller.
Yeah, exactly.
So the first one is primarily for heavy cutting and buffing, and the second one's more for polishing and waxing?
Yes, you can, although, use this product with our regular compound. But for the heavy compound, we do recommend that you go with the wool pad because you get more cutting action with the rotary polisher. The only drawback to using the rotary is it's slightly more expensive. I mentioned that it was a little bit harder to use. You do have to use the wool pad, which is recommended. You don't have to, but for heavy oxidation, I would recommend going with the wool instead of the foam pads because it offers a little bit more of an aggressive cut.
Now you guys might be wondering, what's the big square on the boat? That is not part of Jeremy's design here. What we're actually going to do is in the next video, we're going to take this system and show you this deck's actually pretty clean, and we did a spot back there that we'll show you in a minute We're gonna take this system, we're gonna buzz through the steps on film, and we're gonna show you the difference when we pull the tape. And so you can see how easy it is to actually do roughly two feet of your boat. And you can figure out how long it would take to do the whole thing after that, but this is amazingly fast. Tim came up with a really cool system, and I think you guys are really gonna enjoy it.